We have an update on how the war in Afghanistan is going. This is from The Hill. 3 U.S. troops killed, 2 injured by Afghan soldier. Wow. So they're supposed to be on our side, by the way. The soldiers in Afghanistan, they're supposed to be on our side. But 3 U.S. soldiers are now dead and 2 are injured because one of them turned. Okay, so let me tell you what they say here. 3 U.S. soldiers were killed and 1 other was wounded Saturday in an attack by an Afghan soldier, according to multiple reports. The Taliban took responsibility for the attack, claiming that the attacker was a Taliban fighter who had joined the Afghan army, also known as a green-on-blue attack. We are aware of an incident in eastern Afghanistan. We will release more information when appropriate, a U.S. military spokesman said in a statement. A White House spokesman told reporters Saturday that President Trump was following the emergency situation in Afghanistan. The identities of the slain soldiers and the injuries of the wounded soldier were not immediately made known. The incident remains under investigation, officials said. So I have to say, it's a great thing that we're still in Afghanistan after launching the war over 15 years ago. Isn't that great? It's wonderful. How do you tell the parents of these kids what happened? What do you do? We want to thank you and your family for their bravery and your son for his bravery. He died fighting for freedom. Is that what he died fighting for? This is for freedom? That's what that was? We got to start asking ourselves tough questions, man. What are we doing there? They call Afghanistan the graveyard of empires? Because this is what empires do. They get in Afghanistan, they stay there, they blow all their money and resources. And then eventually they pull out and go, well, we accomplished nothing. What are you expecting to change? We launched the war over 15 years ago. Today, the Taliban controls 40% of Afghanistan, over 40% of Afghanistan. That's a failure by any definition, by any standard. That's a failure. You launched the war over 15 years ago, and now the Taliban controls more territory than they did when you first launched the war. And by the way, when you launched the war, you didn't even say, hey, we're going after the Taliban. That wasn't what you said. You said, Osama bin Laden, we have to get him. He's in Afghanistan. That's why we're going there. Well, guess what? You killed Osama bin Laden. You didn't kill him in Afghanistan. You killed him in Pakistan, by the way. But he's dead and gone. So why wasn't it? This is classic empire trick now. You do the thing you said you were supposed to do, and then you stay there. So then then that wasn't why you were there in the first place. We got to go into Iraq. We got to get Saddam. You got Saddam a long time ago. But it wasn't like, okay, we got him, guys. Woo! Now we're going to go home. Yoo-hoo! It was like, we got him. All right, now we're going to stay. Wait, what? But you said the reason you were there was to get Saddam. You got him. Now what? We're going to stay. But that's not the point you made to the American people when you sold the war. You said it's going to be quick. We're just going to get Saddam and get out. And then you got him and you stayed. In Afghanistan, we got to get him. We got to go to Osama bin Laden. What are we going to do? He attacked us. We got to get him. We got to get him. Okay, you got him. And then you stayed. Then they just keep moving the goalposts. Just keep moving it. Keep moving it. Oh, in Afghanistan, well, look, okay, we got Osama, but here's the bottom line. Al-Qaeda is still there. We got to get Al-Qaeda. Well, according to our own intelligence, it was only a little over 100 Al-Qaeda operatives in Afghanistan. That's it. You're going to stay there for 100 guys? Okay, but then they decided to do that. Well, guess what? Now you wipe them out. So then what are you going to do? Well, you got Osama, then you got Al-Qaeda. Well, the Taliban, bad enough. Let's just stay. But wait, the Taliban, as horrific as they are, they're a guerrilla army. In other words, they're not trying to attack the U.S. They're just trying to terrorize and implement Sharia in Afghanistan and in Pakistan. Now, horrible, but is that our business to fight there when they didn't attack us? Why should we fucking? But they're like, yeah, no, stay there, fight them. But then that's a war that never ends, because again, it's a guerrilla army. And if there's one thing the U.S. Army has proven, what it's bad against is guerrilla warfare. Look at what happened in Vietnam. So you're just going to stay there forever. That's what you're going to do. Okay, they control 40% of the country. Just stay there. Until when? Until we beat it. But you're never going to beat it. So we just stay there forever. Okay, well, thank you for admitting it. They didn't admit it, but if they're being honest, this is what they would say. Lindsey Graham actually said that. He's like, you don't leave. You stay there forever. He said, you don't leave. You say, well, when do you get out? You don't get out. That's what he said. So, are you cool with that? I'm not cool with that. I pay my taxes. I'm sure you guys pay your taxes. Over 50% of the discretionary budget is going to war. I didn't sign up for that. I want to have my money go to things that make sense. I want to pay for people's health care. I want to pay for people's education. I want to pay for a New Deal to rebuild our infrastructure. I want to pay so that people in Flint have clean water. That's what I want my tax money to go towards. What do you want yours to go towards? But no, it's the warfare state, and it's endless, and now people are dying, and there's nothing anybody could say to the parents of these kids that would comfort them. Because guess what? Deep down, they know that they didn't have to die. The kids didn't have to die. Why? We shouldn't even be there. We shouldn't even be there. Shame on us for still being there. The war in Afghanistan is the most unpopular war ever in U.S. history. It has a 17% favorability rating. It's more unpopular than Afghanistan. And we're still there, and people are still dying for it. So, because the media never talks about the war in Afghanistan. Ever. 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 So here we are. 3 U.S. soldiers killed in Afghanistan. And a lot of people don't even know we're still at war with Afghanistan. We are. We're there. We're still doing it. And 3 U.S. soldiers just died for no goddamn reason because we shouldn't be there. But we'll keep wasting money. We'll keep wasting lives for no reason. You know, in Iraq, there was the scandal about oil. Oil production increased dramatically when we were there. We're still there. Maybe why we're there has something to do with that. In Afghanistan, opium, minerals. There's tremendous mineral wealth in Afghanistan. Does that have something to do with it? Are good American citizens fighting and dying for the corporatocracy without even realizing it? It's sick, and the war should be over today. We should end it today. Because we should spend our money on things for the people here, and we should save the lives of the soldiers who are going to die in this needless war.